All right, legends, we are live. Let's analyze the situation here for Bitcoin because it looks like that we are getting some pumpy action since the $82,000 range that we had yesterday. Everything was looking very bearish. We're going to go down. We're going to go lower. About the tariffs, it's just not looking great. It doesn't look like we could have a bounce of, you know, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 on the price of Bitcoin. And now we are bouncing, right? The tariffs have got postponed. Everything's looking much better today as we are in the green, but is this pump sustainable, right? Is it sustainable? Well, the charts tell us the story, guys, because yes, I know this pump is because the tariffs have been postponed from Mexico, Canada, right? This is bullish for Bitcoin and crypto. We need to talk about what was mentioned yesterday. Of course, we were analyzing the situation of the latest wave to the downside, realizing that, yeah, we're very likely going to have a bounce of several $1,000s before taking out this low right over here. A bounce looked imminent based on the local price action. And this is what we do all the time here, right? What did you talk about yesterday? Come on, you know, hey, what was the scenarios that we were looking for on the price of Bitcoin? And then let's move forward to the next possible levels, right? The next possible waves that could happen for the price of Bitcoin, right? This is what we do always. We need to go back on what we mentioned on yesterday's video, and we can't always be right. We try and be right most of the time, but you never have 100% accuracy, right? When you're doing the analysis and the predictions, right? It's just something that happens. So overall, let's take a look at what was mentioned yesterday. Yesterday, we were analyzing very carefully that major drop, okay? Let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me, because I'm just talking here. I need to confirm that I am live and that you can hear me and you can see me, guys. Smash up the like button on your way in. I'm not sure how many likes we do have, guys, but if you want to know the potential scenarios that could happen for Bitcoin, the levels, right? Different waves, different probabilities, right? You need to smash up that like button. Let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me. Yes, we are live. We are good. Music is on in the background. Let's go. That like button, I think, is lagging behind. Let me just double check the like button, legends, because if that like button is lagging, it ain't going to be good. It ain't going to be good for the live stream, right? We need that like button pumping, just like the Bitcoin price today. So overall, let's analyze the situation here because we're getting at a very interesting level, right? It's a very interesting level. I will explain why, of course, right? We'll be analyzing the micro counts. That's what we like to do, right? We go to the lower time frame and analyze the micro counts, which is absolutely bananas, right? It's absolutely crazy. I got a little bit of entertainment here for you guys. Got a little bit of entertainment and analyzing the local movement here to the upside. But most importantly, what was mentioned yesterday, you know, why were we analyzing the scenario yesterday where we were likely going to create one more wave to the downside? We are very likely finishing this impulsive move to the downside or an ABC. There is a valid count for this to be an ABC move, a three-wave structure to the downside. There is a valid count. We can go through that later on. But it does look quite impulsive. It does look pretty powerful as we were talking about this yesterday, right? We're very likely to bottom out very soon if the bottom is not in already. And local double bottoms are definitely worth the attempt to catch this bounce as mentioned yesterday. Yesterday, we were talking about, you know, the 7-8 could get the reaction level. One more wave to the downside as we did get a little bit of volatility to the upside as we were doing the live stream. Maybe one more low and then we get the proper bounce. Overall understanding that a bounce of several $1,000s for the price of Bitcoin was highly likely to happen throughout yesterday evening. So now that we've got this bounce tells us a story. Where are we? Are we going to continue pumping very strongly or are we going to get exhausted? Probably getting exhausted. We are in possibly a third wave or even a C wave. And this is where it's going to get tricky to get into a short position because I am interested in shorting in this zone. Catching double tops right now is getting a little bit complex, right? I do expect a few more waves, a few more wicks, but it's starting to be an interesting level. Now, the question is, are we in a third wave or are we in a C wave? and we do have multiple waves as we grinding up here to the upside, and we still don't have the highest amount of volume. Yeah, we got a nice high volume here in the middle. So is this part of the third wave, and we still have a little bit of more wicks to the upside before we complete the corrective move? That's what we'll be analyzing today, guys, because I do believe that we do still have a few more punches to the upside, right? And this is where we are all wanting to short here. We all want to short, right? We all are interested in short. Now, the question is this an ABC? And we are expecting the rollover to claim the lows from yesterday? Or is it a third wave? Because we are in the middle of the formation right now of this ABC, or a 1, 2, 3, right? And we just blast off. So this is going to be very challenging for the shorters, right? I am interested in shorts. I am interested in longs here, realizing that the movement down is coming to an end. The question is right now, are we ending right now? Are we ending this wave, right? No matter how much confluence, we need to analyze the projections. A third wave or a C wave, it doesn't matter. Usually, not always, is a little bit more powerful than the first initial wave, right? So for the moment, we do have this and this. Now we are in the formation of this. It is getting a little bit choppy. It is getting a little bit interesting here in this zone. However, will we correct down and get another high, or will we start breaking down from this zone? This is where it's getting very, very complex, and you need to manage risk like a pro. The only tool that you have right now for all of those people wanting to short is your risk management. Okay, that's the only thing that you have as your trading strategy at the moment at this zone. Okay, so risk management, guys, it's the only strategy in trading that you need when you understand what could happen, right? I understand that this could be still part of the third wave, and up we go. We still, we just had volume kicking in right now in the middle, right? We've just having volume in the middle right now here. What does this mean? That if this turns out to be a third wave, I mean, we are probably inside of the third wave right? And, this could still punch to the upside quite a little bit, all right? So any aggressive shorters, all of those bears out there, just manage risk accordingly. Just like yesterday, a lot of people happy saying, I missed out the short yesterday. I missed out the short a couple of days ago, right? Managed to get into some longs. We invalidated the bullish case, and I did miss the shorts. We had a lot of people happy based on shorts, and I said, make sure to take profits. Make sure to take profits, because the probability of getting a multi-$1,000 bounce here is highly, highly likely very, very soon yesterday, right? So all of the shorters, I'm happy. I'm holding my short. Okay, make sure to take some profits, though, if you have been shorting in the last 24 to 48 hours, because a bounce looks very, very much possible, right? And we are getting the bounce right now. And of course, the people that do not understand the technical analysis will say, well, this is because Donald Trump, postponed the tariffs on Canada, Mexico. This is bullish. So it was because of bullish news, right? And eventually, ahead of all of that news, we are already realizing that, the waves here to the downside are coming to an end, right? And this was all explained at, the first 20, 30 minutes of the stream here, understanding, this could get choppy. We can form another wave. Potentially the 7/8 Fibonacci is going to be your swing failure pattern level, right? Where you just break down and you fake out from that level. Well, it ended up with that fake out, right? It did end up with that fake out beneath the 7/8 Fibonacci, right? As you can see right over here. We were analyzing the micro counts on this scenario, realizing that, yeah, this momentum is coming to its end, no matter how many wicks you do have here to the 7/8, maybe even the 0.88. And double bottoms locally here are an acceptable attempt to look for the bounce, okay? So what we really need to focus on right now is this price action. Could it be an ABC? We just going to start topping out very soon in this range. It could get wicky. It could get complex. right? Still have a little bit of a liquidity pocket here at the 91,000, 91,500 range. There is still some liquidity. I mean, I don't lean my trading based on liquidity. I've seen millions of dollars of liquidations not being hit by just a few dollars, right? But there is quite a bit of liquidity above 91K. So it does seem like that we could push through that level, okay? However, it is already looking interesting because we've got to get a little bit of a chop here. My doubt here is how many highs can we create, right? Can we create another 4, 5, right? 4, 5, get a bit of the choppiness and then get the corrective move? Or will the 4, 5s just break out very aggressively? That's where you need to manage risk. There's nothing else than managing risk here that is your most powerful tool. But overall, for the moment, we do have a 3-wave structure. We are getting above the golden pocket, right? So the price action is managing to trade above the golden pocket from the drop of the last few days. It is getting the first rejection, a little bit of a double top. You know, it's saying to the community, I'm not too interested here because I do think we could create a couple of more highs, right? A couple of more 4, 5s, and then the local double, triple tops can be very interesting where we can manage risk very, very well, right? Why, if you enter double tops right over here, you're looking to claim the highs, your stop loss looks like this, and your profit projection, well, looks like this, right? It looks like this as we were talking about. So double bottoms here yesterday, they're very good catches because you can have your stop loss beneath the low of that fake out to the downside, right? So overall, we're getting the bounce. We'll be explaining the scenarios. Let's get that like button absolutely destroyed, guys. If you do enjoy the content, okay? WTF is golden pocket. The golden pocket is the 61865 Fibonacci retracement, okay? The golden pocket. Wow, we got somebody here that is extremely new on the price of Bitcoin, on technical analysis, right? Technical analysis. Golden pocket is your Fibonacci retracement, the most respected Fibonacci retracement, okay? Not only on Bitcoin, but on the rest of the markets, okay? It is a very good level when you take it from a pivot high to a pivot low or pivot low to pivot high. The 61865 Fibonacci is a very, very good zone for a reaction, okay? That is the golden pocket, 61865 retracement on Fibonacci. So let's go right away. Shall we start off with higher time frames or shall we start off with a lower time frame? Yesterday, we started off with lower time frame because it was just extremely important to talk about lower time frame yesterday, guys. I do believe that we are coming to an end here in this correction. We're looking for a multi-$1,000 bounce, okay? Lower time frame or higher time frame. Obviously, the lower time frame is what we're expecting to have the most crucial analysis right now, depending if we have a 3-wave corrective structure to the upside or a 5-wave, right? We're in the 3rd wave. Is it going to be more impulsive? Valid shorts are acceptable only at the local double tops after creating this movement, right? After creating this movement, any local double tops are acceptable, in my opinion, for a possible short after this top right over here, just because this top right over here was the one with the highest amount of volume. And the one with the highest amount of volume, you do expect a corrective move, all right, shallow in a possible wave 4 and your wave 5. You're starting to look at 5th waves after the highest amount of volume movement, right? The first, okay, the highest amount of volume right there on micro waves are usually signaling that this is a 3rd wave. And you're probably going to have 4 5s. 4 5s, you're going to wick above those highs, okay? So now we do have our first initial double top possibility for the short, which was this one right over here. Could we form another one right there, as we could be forming another 4 5 and then get the correction? Well, this is why I have this entertainment, right? 4 5s possibility, right? Unless this is the end of the 4 5, but I do think a few more wicks is very much a possibility. Now, the good thing about detecting these tops based on this price action, you realize that you can manage risk very, very well with your stop loss, okay? Just because you get in on the rejection from the local high, boom, 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 you have a stop loss at entry, right? Stop loss close to entry, you know, that's minor losses. The moment you do catch the proper swing failure pattern, well, eventually, you know, it doesn't matter if you get stopped out once or twice on this attempt. If you break through, you're out of the market, higher we go, right? If you get stopped out and you break out, higher we go. You no longer want to remain in any short positions. However, if you do get stopped out once here, you enter again, right? You got stopped out once from the first short. You enter again on the second rejection. You got your stop loss like this. Stop loss looks like this, right? You can be defensive on the move down to, you know, make your loss very small. The moment it comes down aggressively to start sweeping the higher lows and break a bit of structure, then you are paying off, you know, 5, 6, 7 times your stop loss, right? We got a problem right over here, and the problem looks like this. The problem looks like this. There's a lot of micro waves that are signaling that we could create a few more highs. We're going to go through that, of course. Local double tops are acceptable, like I mentioned, double, triple tops, okay? But I do expect the price to kind of continue and try and push the momentum here based on the micro counts on the waves here that we are forming to the upside, especially as we do have the highest volume right over here in the middle, right? And as we do have this highest volume in the middle after forming so many mini waves here, it gives you the potential of forming 4/5s to the upside, right? Just like this movement right over here with the highest amount of volume. Highest amount of volume in the middle of your wave 3, which is giving you the possibility of 4/5, 4/5 off to the races, right? This is something that you need to understand, that was explained on yesterday's analysis, right? We're looking probably at a little few more dips here and then the reversal. This is why exactly in this zone, based on the latest move up, because this without a doubt is a finished move to the upside. This is a finished correction. And now what we have is this wave right over here. How far up can this wave go? And that's what we will be analyzing on the lower time frames, legends. Let's get that like button smashed up here. Not many people interested in the live today. 776 people watching the stream. Let's see if we do manage to hit that 1,000 viewers, because we are here to predict and analyze the local structure, right? Are you bearish or are you bullish? Is this a fake pump? Is it a solid pump? We're going to go higher. Retracement soon. Let's ask the community. Let's go. Start a poll. Will pump continue? Will pump continue? Yes. No. Yes. But not much. Yes to 96k plus. Let me know, guys. I want to know, will pump continue for Bitcoin? You have no, you have yes. Yes, but just a little. Let me know right away in the comment section, because we do have a 3-wave movement, and I have to say, this movement down does look pretty damn impulsive, just as we were looking at this yesterday. It does look pretty powerful to the downside, okay? And as we do have this powerful move to the downside, without a doubt, this could be a corrective move, right? And that's what we're analyzing right now. We're getting a bit of a pullback. We are pulling back quite a bit here. This is going to be interesting. Very, very interesting. Because I think there is a chance here. Maybe to sweep the lows. Maybe to bounce, create one more highs. Like as mentioned, the interest for shorts locally are very much attractive. And local double tops, triple tops is the option right now that we have for shorting the market. If it breaks out successfully, then we look for higher. If we do create a wick and we trade back below, it gives us the trigger possibility for the short. This is, we're going to be analyzing this. Shall we do higher time frame first of all, or shall we do lower time frame? I think higher time frame is better, right? We should really analyze higher time frame first of all, and then go through the lower time frame. But higher time frame is basically looking at the all-time high to the low here. This is the only structure. We ain't going to take a look at the price action on the daily and go through 2023, 2024. No. We're not doing that. We're going to analyze only this movement to the downside and what options do we have based on the next possible movements, right? What are the different options? And obviously then go to the lower time frame for all of those aggressive scalpers. Let me know if anybody got into a long position yesterday, and there was an epic confirmation long yesterday, which was literally after this local double bottom, right over here, and the back test. Why was this the possible option apart from the analysis that was provided yesterday, looking at maybe this is the last 4 and 5, and you know we did have a complete one wave here on the last 4-5. Okay, just this was something that we were analyzing yesterday. You know, maybe this was the actual movement down where we had the 1, 2, 3, 4, a bit of a triangle right there, and 5. Maybe this was it. Maybe this was the last 5th wave, right? Analyzing the overall structure from yesterday. Maybe this was the low, right? Where we bounced out the 7-8 Fibonacci from the higher time frame, right? But this is still aggressive. You know, you're getting into the bottom. You're getting into the 7-8 Fibonacci. What was very interesting was this pullback. This pullback was the very interesting pullback, all right, for the long position. Not only because of the back test. I mean, back test doesn't, you know, always work. It was because of the bullish CVD divergence. We had some pretty interesting bullish CVD divergence on that movement on Bybit. They were pretty aggressive, giving you that trigger to get into the long position. Look at this, higher lows on price action, extreme lower lows. Bybit was going crazy with short positions right over here, and eventually they got exterminated, right? Lots of shorts coming into the market, and that was your trigger to take the long position, claim the highs. If you claim the highs and break, higher we go. You maintain that long position as much as you can, right? For that big bounce of a few $1,000s. That was what we were predicting yesterday, right? We were looking for a nice bounce here, despite the bearish sentiment, right? Bearish sentiment was very much real, right? It was real, but the bounce was kind of inevitable, right? It was just highly, highly likely to happen throughout the movement yesterday. So that's what happened yesterday, right? We got the nice, beautiful movement down. Very, very nice movement down. Speculating that the last 4 5s are on the formation, right? We did get a 4-5 right over here, another 4-5 right over here based on the 1-1-2 that we had right over here. And we got a nice entry, all right, either at this 7-8 Fibonacci, right? This 7-8 was an option. It was an option that was mentioned in the Legends trading community as well, looking for the 7-8 for the reaction, right? Which was also that option, 7-8 Fibonacci from the low to the high, and looking for that bounce right over here. Swing failure pattern, you get above it, you got the option with your stop loss beneath the low, right? Stop loss looks like this. The profits look like this, right? Profits look like this, or like this, at least to the highs. We broke the highs very nicely, so you maintain that long open. If you reject from the highs, that is where you take profit. If you break out and continue the uptrend, you maintain the long position. So that gave you this option for that long, right? This gave you that option for the long position right over here. Either the 7-8 Fibonacci as a swing failure pattern, right? Or basically a fake out from the 7-8 with stop loss at the low. Or the retracement with big bullish CVD divergence. And you have a possibility of this being the wave 5, right? Very fast, you know, was also leaning on the possibility of forming a contracting move. You know, we were just claiming the low, bouncing throughout the stream. We didn't know exactly, okay, what could happen next, but this bullish CVD divergence gave you the possibility to take action on that movement, right? So let's go right away and analyze a little bit of the higher time frame, right? We're getting a bit of a pullback right now. It's going to be choppy, right? I'm going to give you a few trading scenarios that could happen, guys. This is why you're here, right? You're here to speculate on some trading setups here with me on YouTube, analyzing the movements, right? The highest probability moves, invalidation levels where we are not interested in a long and we are not interested in a short based on a breakout. And what are the different trading setups that I would be looking here for the next coming hours between today and tomorrow. Let's go right away through the comment section, right? We need to get some people joining in the live stream, right? Let me know, anybody. I want to take a look at the yes, will we pump? All right, a lot, you know, many different opinions here, many different opinions. I'll go through the comment section right away, legends. I need to see that like button absolutely destroyed. Let me know, anybody in the comment section, if they did manage to jump into a long position, because MEXC was in yesterday, right? I did a poll on, are we going to go to lower levels, right? Are we going to break down 78K, go to 60K, right? You know, a lot of people were bearish and were happy with their short positions that they took in the last, you know, 24 to 48 hours yesterday. And, you know, it was very much making them believe, based on the analysis, that a bounce is coming, and we don't know how powerful that bounce is going to be. We're going to have to, you know, analyze the local bounce today. I hope some people that were very happy with their short positions did take their profits, because it was a profit target zone based on the reaction as explained yesterday, right? And based on the waves, based on the scenarios, right? So we are pulling back a little bit right now, a little bit of a correction of $1,000, right? Not even, yeah, just round about $1,000 of a correction happening at the moment. Is this it? Is this the one that is going to break down? We'll be going through the different scenarios, guys. We need to know the trading setups based on the analysis. So let's go. Anybody longed yesterday? Let me know if anybody managed to long and profit from this move. Let me know in the comment section right away. Let me know. Let me know. We just do the pure technical analysis, guys, and really careful on the predictions, right? I was wrong. Well, you would say that the analysis, right, didn't hold the level that it needed to hold, right? Just a few days ago, we were looking at the 50% Fibonacci. From this move to hold, if we want to maintain the bullish structure, we broke down, right? which is, but anyway, regardless, there's just no longs to be taken here in this movement down, right? So we always understand, you know, where, if the analysis is wrong on the bullish case or the bearish case, we understand where we do not need to trade, right? If we are, you know, believing that this is bullish, it's still uptrending, it could be a ABC move, right? This is what we mentioned yesterday, right? It could be an ABC move, which it did end up, right, 2 days ago, being that ABC, being that three-wave structure. A lot, you know, quite a lot of manipulation, but regardless, we formed a three-wave. Now we got a different story here on the price of Bitcoin. So it's going to be looking interesting. It's very, very interesting. You know, we are rejecting right now from those highs. I think there is a possibility for a wave 4 here. Another wave 4-5. Very, very possible. We're going to do the micro counts right now. Okay. Just sweeping up this low. Sweeping up this local low at the moment. Very interesting, right? This kind of needs to hold, because if we do not hold this zone, we could get a pretty decent drop based on the inefficiency of this candle, right? So the top of this box really, you know, needs to hold if the bullish momentum wants to continue, at least in the short term, because you have that big inefficiency right there, right? That could lead the movement to the downside. So a bounce from this zone is very, very possible based on the reaction, which does make sense to get a bounce here. And it all has to do with the small little waves. Okay, so let's go right away through the higher time frame, guys. I'll go through lower time frame. Lower time frame that's when we take a look at the different intraday scalping setups, right? But this is a level that should hold, at least right now. Okay, it looks pretty good. It was a quick sniper long right there with a tight stop loss for a possible bounce. Anyway, let's go right away through the higher time frame, and we'll analyze here the higher time frames. Okay, we need to take a look at higher time frame to take a look at the different projections that we do have available, right? Because as we did get a three-wave structure yesterday, I'm just going to do a recap on this situation, right? Where we had a three-wave structure up, we were leaning on the possibility of forming a 5-wave move to the upside, right? We were leaning on the possibility of forming a higher low at certain Fibonacci levels, either the 382 or the 50%. There's no more. If we don't bounce from any of those two and we hit the golden pocket, then we go to lower levels as we did, right? That was the overall, you know, bullish invalidation. Hit the golden pocket from the low to the high. If we do so, we are going lower. And as we did form a three-wave move up here, this changes the map and gives you multiple different scenarios that were mentioned yesterday. But for any new subscriber here, all right, we will be analyzing, you know, a little bit of Elliott wave theory. I'm pushing a little bit of Elliott wave theory right now just because it gives us different possibilities on the projections and the higher probability. Then we go through confluence levels where there is trading opportunities. Okay, so I need you to smash up the like button. We're over 1,000 people now. Yes, guys, destroy the like button. And remember, if you are interested in trading, you got weeks. Okay, weeks. It just requires an email and a password. All of those people that just want to sign up to an exchange and trade just with an email and a password, it is possible with weeks. Okay, if you want to take advantage, also they have a 50% deposit bonus, which you deposit $2,000, you will get $1,000 airdropped on your futures account in 24 to 48 hours approximately. Okay, it might take 48 to 72, but it's a 50% deposit bonus with a cap of 1,000. Okay, you won't get more than $1,000. For the big players, you got the $30,000 deposit bonus. The more you deposit and trade, the more airdrops you're going to get, and you also get a 25% fee reduction just by signing up with a second link, guys. Okay, remember that Weeks is a platform that I am using currently for the last few months, and it works absolutely great when you're doing, you know, Bitcoin trading. Of course, you know, that you have some altcoins as well there, and you got many different options. Let's go right away through the higher time frame analysis to understand what are the different projections that we do have? In higher time frame, more like middle time frame, 1 hourly time frame, right? Let's get these lines out of the way. The very bullish case scenario on the lower time frames, all right, is this one right over here, which is the possibility of forming, all right, a contracting ascending, right, diagonal, ascending contracting diagonal in 5 waves, right? 5 waves that is completed with 3-wave moves. It's possible. Of course, we cannot speculate on this. This would be still the lowest probability until we form the high here and we get the correction and we start moving into a 3-wave. Then we can start projecting this possibility. For now, there's too many waves that need to happen, too many resistance, too many supports locally. So we can really not still lean on this probability, because we still need one high and we still need a 3-wave move down to possibly create a higher low. And this will be the moment where we can start speculating on this scenario, right? Which ends up in a correction and then obviously the massive recovery throughout the next coming weeks. It is possible, just because we formed a 3-wave move up here last week between Friday and Sunday, right? It's just a possibility that could happen. I'm not saying that this is going to happen. It's just something to take into consideration, right? One of the lowest probability scenarios at the moment, as we need a lot of waves to develop still, right? Which is giving us our different other options. What other different options do we have here? Looking at this corrective move, because I believe that this is a correction, okay? And we're still part of the correction, even though if we do claim $78,000. This no longer looks impulsive. It no longer looks incredibly bearish to get the price down to $60,000. I mean, 70,000 would be a very, very aggressive movement down, in my opinion. But overall, it's either the low is in or we create one more low and we go to all-time high in the next coming weeks, right? That is the projection that we do have based on the corrective move that we have from all-time high to the low. It looks incredibly corrective, all right? And it does not look impulsive. There is a lack of volume. The smart players do not sell here. You need much more volume, much more impulsive moves down. And all of this is very, very rangy and lots of corrections happening throughout this range, giving us a high chance that all of this is corrective and with or without another low, which is an option still. The idea is that we do get to all-time high at some point in the next coming weeks. So what are the different options? Please explain. Let's do so. I will. Let's go. If we do take a look at this, right? This is what I'm leaning on, right? If this is not impulsive, where we have multiple 1-2s, right? Where we have multiple 1-2s, this is the 3rd wave. It has to be the 3rd wave. And of course, we retraced all the way to the 7/8 Fibonacci. No longer is a double 1-2, triple 1-2, quadruple 1-2, right? This cannot be your 4th 1-2. It is too powerful. It is too big of a retracement. You know, it's just not possible for this to be your 4th 1-2, right? Not possible. I wouldn't use that word. I would say highly unlikely, right? Highly unlikely. So this brings us to this option right over here, where we have a corrective move down, okay, in an A wave, right? Well, this is an expanding move, right, in an A wave, right? 5 wave to form your A wave. You got your B that could be this one right over here, or it could be this one right over here, forming a little bit of a dodgy triangle. Okay, there is a possible count here for a dodgy triangle where you have an A, B, C, D, E. It doesn't matter, as explained yesterday, if this is the B wave or this is the B wave. It doesn't really matter. The most important, what matters, is this area was the end of this sideways momentum. Then it starts moving down impulsively, right? As we move down impulsively, this is the end of this movement down, right? That's pretty clear, right? That's pretty clear for me. You have 2 options here for your B here or B here. It doesn't really matter. You also can count this as your C wave right there, or you can count this as an A, B, C right there with your contracting move right over here. You got your flat and your B wave right over here. Doesn't really matter, right? Ultimately, you're looking for a 3-wave structure to the downside. Now, with those options and the different option that we do have here, purely based on what happened last week, that ended up in a 3-wave structure that completely changed the map on the different movements that we do have available. One of the movements are going to happen. One of the price will move, and one of these different options that I'm going to tell you right over here, and they will reject at the levels that I'm going to explain, despite if we do get the movement up or the movement down. The question is, which one will play out? Well, of course, as the price develops, that is where we do take the options that are not playing out, we put them in the bin, and we just stick to the ones that are available. So let's talk about the first option right over here, right? Which is basically coming down right now, forming a lower high somewhere in this range, and we move down to claim the lows of yesterday, right? We sweep up the lows of yesterday, and miraculously we form a higher low without taking out this low to get a bounce, right? Literally bouncing at the 0.88 Fibonacci from the low to the high, which is a very, very well respected level, right? It would be the level that I would want to see the price bouncing after claiming that local low, right, from yesterday. It's an option, right? These are different projections. Of course, you have this option right over here, right? The different options take you to this X wave, because you have your W right there. Now you have your zigzag in X right over here. And this comes to the most powerful resistance that we do have throughout the range of the last 4 months, which is the point of control of the entire range, right? The $97,200. That is the most powerful resistance that we do have, which is very close to the golden pocket, right? It is very close to the golden pocket from all-time high to the lows that we had on last Friday, right? Giving us that option, right? That is if we do form a lower high somewhere in this region, right? And then start breaking down. The question is, will we manage to form, okay, a higher low? We got a zigzaggy move here to the downside, but we want to maintain above this low so we can actually move in another zigzag up, right? And then ultimately we form a 3-wave structure, okay, double zigzag in this case, all the way up to, take out this high at least, right? Then we will analyze the situation. But the best level is $97,000 to $98,000, where we do have the naked point of control since November till today, right? And the golden pocket, right, which is a very respected level, 61865 Fibonacci from all-time high to the low of last Friday. Now, this is one option, right? The price finds resistance in this area. We've moved up in a 3-wave structure. We moved down in a 5-wave, okay? And we form a zigzag move, just like we formed a zigzag move to the upside, right? Throughout Friday and Sunday, last Friday and Sunday. 3-wave structure, 3-wave structure. That is one option, right? Which is taking us to this scenario, right? And we want between this low and the 0.88 to maintain our support. Now, this is going to be very interesting, because if we move down throughout today and tomorrow with a strong move down, a correction, another strong third wave, and then we get the choppy 4-5s here, 4-5, right? Literally taking a look at a very similar movement that happened here or that happened here yesterday, which is helping us predict the reversal, right? Based on yesterday's movement down, this was highly predictable based on the waves that we formed throughout the correction between Sunday and Monday, right? So that's what we want to see. We want to see a nice 5-wave move down, right? That would be the ideal. So it's very important to actually analyze the corrective, the movement down that could be very impulsive, right? And then you get lots of people very, very bearish, right? This is it. I told you it was a fake pump. We're going to go down to 75K, 60K, right? Any crazy targets to the downside. We're still going to be in a range here, guys. You know, we need to analyze the lower time frames, because if we move down in a 5-wave impulsive move where we have this kind of similar price action, I can tell you, if we start chopping beneath this low, right, that's the moment that you realize that this is probably going to bounce. This is probably going to bounce, and you finished a 3-wave structure. Okay, so of course, come on, you know, this still hasn't happened. We still have the possibility of pumping, right? But it's a possibility, right? It's a possible projection that in the end would lead you to this movement over here to form a 3-wave structure, okay, to get all the way up to you know, around about $96,000, $97,000 range, right? Ultimately take out those highs from the weekend, right? Very speculative. It's only one option, but it's an option that could happen, right? This is one option that could happen, right? What would be the second option that could happen, right? There's many options, guys. I'm sorry. There's many options based on this bloody 3-wave structure that we formed the other day. As we formed the 3-wave structure here, then we map several different scenarios. So, which changes the map, right? Changes the map, right? This is like, technical analysis is brilliant, guys. It's like, well, basically Elliott wave theory, right, in this case, because you map the different situations that could happen. Now, let's go right away through the other option. What's the other option? You correct down from here, where we at right now, right? Literally $90,000, $91,000, $92,000. And then you get the price action to form a higher low, and you get the push to the upside. It's a possibility. It is a possibility that this could happen. Of course, we would have to see the movement down, okay? If the movement down is very impulsive, then we're not taking this into consideration. But regardless, if we start moving down in a zigzaggy move and it gets very wedgy and it's just losing momentum, well, then we do have that option here of getting the movement up. Now, this option also comes with the movement down that we had yesterday formed a 3-wave structure, which there is a valid count for this to be an A, B, and C right there. Not the most beautiful looking one. It does look more impulsive. Okay, it really does look like more of an impulsive move. All of this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as explained yesterday, it looks very, very powerful. Okay, to be a 1-wave, to be an impulsive move and not a 3-wave structure. So this scenario, in my opinion, has lower probabilities, because I'm leaning on the scenario that this looks a bit more impulsive. And if we do correct down from here, I think there's a high chance that we could be claiming the low. Okay, just because of this movement down being more aggressive. And also we have this movement to the upside is very 3-wavy. It's very 3-wavy. And you would want to see a 5-wave move up, and then obviously a correction and a 5-wave move up here to ultimately form your ABC. Okay, so a corrective move here to form a higher low is highly unlikely. Okay, so this becomes a low probability scenario purely based on this move that looks impulsive, and this move that, if it ends up being a 3-wave structure as it is right now, it looks corrective. So if we do start losing certain levels, Fibonacci levels that we will discuss on the lower time frame, it will look like that the price will come down to claim the lows of yesterday. Okay, so this one, for the moment, if we start correcting down, eventually a higher low is highly unlikely. Main reason why is simple. You got a very, very strong possibility that this is an impulse and it's not an ABC. And for the moment, you do have a 3-wave structure formation here. And of course, a 3-wave move after a strong movement down is highly corrective, okay? 3-wave move, you would expect the breakdown to claim the lows of yesterday. So this probability has low probability, right? This possibility has low probability. Okay, so let's go right away through the other scenario, right? The next scenario, guys, we need to, bear with me here because we have several options. We just have several options, of course. This one being the less probable scenario if we were to correct down aggressively right now, okay, to around about $86,000-$85,000. It's unlikely that this will hold and will likely come down to claim the lows. So the next option is this one. The movement up, the bounce here that we were predicting yesterday comes to an end, be it 90K, 91, 92K, doesn't matter, somewhere in this region. And it breaks down, not only breaking down from this low, breaking down from this low as well, claiming $78,000, right? And getting to lower levels, right? 76, right? Where we do have a weekly naked point of control. That would be our first level of support to pay attention for a reversal. You have a weekly naked point of control from price action of November, right? From the uptrend of November. So those are the higher time frame possibilities, right? Of course, these take you to different targets. This one right over here has low probability. Okay, so especially if we were to move down right now with a 3-wave pump, right? It would be highly corrective. So forming a higher low, not going to look too good for this unless we form one more wave up. If we form one more wave up very nicely to hit 91.5, 92, then we could have a possible 5-wave impulse here, meaning that this could be corrective and then we get the leg up to claim the highs, right? Really depends on the local price action on what we develop, okay? But if we create one more high on this correction, right, we do manage to maintain ground here and we pump up, create one more high to complete a 5-wave move up, then this scenario gains a little bit of more probability, right? It's very important to create one more high to hit above $91,000, right? Be it 91, 92 on the next movement, right? This will increase in probability if we get one more high, right? Purely based on the 5-wave move to the upside here. Those are the options on higher time frame, right? Those are the options. Of course, this one right over here lies with the movement down, 3, 4, 5, right? You move down aggressively between today and tomorrow, and then you manage to finish your 5th wave in between this low and the 0.88 Fibonacci. We're just going to have to analyze that momentum. Of course, the Legends trading community will be getting the first updates eventually, as always, on the Discord. If you are interested in knowing, more updates before we go on YouTube, you have the Discord, you have the rest of the coaches and the rest of different setups, right? Got Bitcoin setups, altcoin setups, and you get my first videos out also with the modules, guys. If you want to learn technical analysis and trading scenarios, right, trading setups with good risk management, you do have the modules down below in the Discord. Okay, you need to sign up here and you'll be getting access to Discord, the modules and everything, right? And a very good community, right, which are sharing different, opinions and possible setups. So let's get all of this out of the way. Those are the higher time frame possibilities, right? Lots of movements, a lot of predictions, bullish, bearish, okay, right? Now is where we come to the lower time frame. Now is where we get the magic, right? Now is where we could actually predict the possible movements in the next hours, right? Just as yesterday, we're looking at this movement to end soon, guys, and get a pretty epic bounce of several $1,000s. We are bouncing very, very nicely to $90,000, right? Just a few hours ago. Now it's where we're getting a bit choppy, getting a little bit of the choppiness. And I like choppiness because choppiness means a possibility of exhaustion, right? There's a possibility of exhaustion here. And that's where your short trading setups become very, very interesting, right? You look for double tops, triple tops. And that has to do with the local analysis here, right? The local analysis, right, is giving us that possible option. Getting choppy here beneath this low. Getting choppy, trying to maintain this area. We'll get a little bit more of a pullback, trying to hold here, this zone. But yeah, we're going to take a look at the micro counts here. Now, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. This is really, really nice because this is going to give us a possibility to decide on a possible short if we do take out the highs. And that's what we're going to explain right now. This is becoming interesting based on this movement to the upside. Now, the question is, this third movement, right? Can it be very powerful or can it be not too powerful? For the moment, we are seeing the first signs of weakness, which is a local double top, a bit of choppiness, claim highs, claim lows. Could we claim the high again? And this is the one that retraces, right? Now it's where it's becoming very, very interesting. And this movement to the upside will tell us if the price is going to manage to break through or if it's going to reject. Based on all of this is very impulsive, and all of this is just a trap to get people very bullish and ultimately start correcting back down, right? Every pump on Bitcoin is getting pushed back down, right? So this is the moment, you know, of ultimately looking for the trading decisions, right? Because I am interested in shorts. However, we need to be very selective with our shorts, right? We can't short every single pump in this level and get stopped out 10 times. We need to be very, very selective and know exactly where we want to enter, right? We've got 1 or 2 triggers, right? Boom, to get into the short. You got a couple of triggers here. If you get stopped out 3, 4 times, you know, you need to forget, you know, trying to short the pump, right? Unless you have very, very good specific levels to get into. The question is, I am leaning more on the side that this does look pretty damn impulsive, right? This movement down here that we had yesterday, it does look pretty 5 wavy, in my opinion. In my opinion, it does look pretty damn 5 wavy. It does look pretty damn strong. There is a valid count to look at this as a B, C right there, where literally you have your C wave very strong, you know, which is rare already to hit the 2.618 extension from this wave, meaning that this is 2.618 times longer than this wave over here, which is rare for a C wave. Very, very rare. Even the 1.618 is not too common for a C wave on an extension, right? You usually hit the 236, the 1.382 extension from your first initial A wave. So this already decreases the probability that this is an ABC. But there is a valid count because you have a 1 wave, a 2, a 3, a 4, and you have a very, very choppy 5th wave where you have 1, 2, 3, 4 in a flat and then 5, right? Your 4th wave here, you count it as a flat and then a movement down, which would give you 5 waves move in this structure. There is a valid count. Let's leave it that way, right? There's a valid count on this being an ABC, and also a valid count for it to be 5-wave move down, right? Which would be this one right over here. What makes the difference of this being a 5-wave move down very strongly? Okay, what is the difference? What is the difference of this being a 5-wave impulsive move than an ABC? Well, it gives you the difference on this bounce. If this is highly likely a 5-wave move down, it gives you high probability that what could be forming here is a 3-wave movement, and we ultimately start correcting down very strongly. That is the difference of understanding the previous movement, the previous wave, that is giving you the different probabilities from this wave, right? So as we lean that you have clear high volume on the 3rd wave here in the middle, you do have a valid 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? You do have other 1, 2, double 1, 2s, double 4, 5s, doesn't matter. You're looking at an impulse. Looking at this as an impulse gives you that high chance that what we could be looking at here is a 3-wave corrective structure. And this could get choppy here. It could get exhausted. It could double, triple top. And we could ultimately start breaking down in the next coming hours between today and tomorrow. That is what this story is telling us. The story is telling us that this movement is a little bit more powerful, at least for the moment, from this movement to the upside, which could ultimately be a 3-wave corrective structure, which ends up failing to go to higher levels, right? Eventually. And the bears step in and they start pushing the price back down below $82,000. So that's what I am concerned about now. Higher probability is that we could be getting exhausted in this area and start rolling down, purely based on the strength and the structure of the market, right? Which is this one. Yeah, you can, and what is the difference if this is an ABC, right? Well, the difference about this being an ABC is that you could form a very powerful 3-wave move up here, even taking out the highs based on the analysis that we mentioned on the higher time frame, right? And maybe we form a contracting, right, diagonal, right, where we are, that's one option, right, where we get resistance at 96, 97. I mean, eventually getting above this high, I will be looking for shorts. There's no doubt about it, right? Getting above $96,000, $97,000, especially if it were to be in between today and tomorrow, I would be very interested in looking for shorts up here, because ultimately we are forming, 3-wave structures throughout this range of the last few days, meaning that this is highly unlikely not going to be a 3rd wave, right? We ain't going to go to $100,000 plus. There's low probability that we do manage to get all the way up there, purely based on 3 waves, 3 waves, 3 waves, right? It's going to be very rangy, and there's no powerful move up, right? This stands with a lower probability, right? Especially now, because of this movement. It looks more impulsive down. Okay, so we are leaning on the possibility that the price of Bitcoin is possibly going to top out here, guys, and it's going to roll down. If that were to be the case, this ends up being very impulsive, and this being very corrective. And this only means one thing: if you start losing the lows here, it's not going to be looking too great. I will ultimately say that we're probably going to come down here, and it's like very bullish on Sunday, very bearish on Monday, very bullish today. Start to be very bearish. I knew it. This is a fake pump. Oh my goodness. We hit this level. Oh my goodness. We're back. Friday, we got the conference, right? Donald Trump, this, that, the other. It's bullish. Let's go. It's going to be a very, very volatile range, in my opinion, based on good news, bad news. The tariffs have been postponed, blah, 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 right? It's just the charts tell us that we are going to be ranging. We ain't going to go to all-time high in the next coming days, and we ain't going to break down to 60K, right? Or 70K in the next coming days. We're going to be very rangy in between 80K, above 95K, you know, in this, it's just going to be very, very volatile in this range. So there's no big major uptrend that's going to happen, and there's no big major downtrend that's not going to happen anytime soon. So it's going to be a bit of bouncing up and down, right? And big swing movements, right? Because this has been almost a $10,000 move up. This was over a $10,000 move down. This is almost a $10,000 move up, right? It's big swings that we're having right now on Bitcoin. But ultimately, we ain't going to see a successful breakdown or break up, in my opinion, either from the lows, right? There could be a slight successful breakdown of a few $1,000s, but ultimately not looking for much lower levels, right? As explained with the different options that we do have. These are the only options that we do have, guys, based on this, where we do have this one, or this one. These are the only ones. Of course, this yellow one is followed by a movement down. We should put that here, right? This yellow one is followed by this one right over here. This is what it's looking like for the next coming days, on the different scenarios. So looking at the timing, there is one more option. Looking at the timing, there is one option actually. There is one that I mentioned just in the last few minutes. Okay, let's add this one right over here to the option here. The other option would be blasting through here to take out the highs, which literally could bring you to the contracting move. Obviously, this would be much steeper on the first movement up. I mean, this movement could literally be squeezed in, and this is only a projection. I'm not even looking at the timing or anything, right? But if this three wave were to be here, it would be very fast, very aggressive. I mean, the faster we move up here, I think the faster the rejection could be, right? And then this ultimately, you know, ascending contracting move turns out to be a little bit smaller in timing, right? This is only a projection. It's nothing. There's no real view on this eventually, because we need the waves forming, right? Then we can build up that contracting move. But for the moment, it doesn't come relevant. So there is one of these options. There is one of these options that brings you the zigzag move up, which I think has the lowest probability, purely based on this movement down, which looks more impulsive. Okay, we want to be careful. Is this possible? Absolutely yes, it is possible. Does it lean on the highest probability? For the moment, no. For the moment, no, till proven otherwise, right? Smash up the local highs. The only moment you realize that this has high probability is when you break out strongly from the highs, right? Then obviously we'll be like, yeah, guys, we ain't double topping. This is no longer being an ABC. This is why double triple tops here is the option. If you catch this double triple top, okay, managing risk, of course, guys. If you start breaking up, you don't want to be in a trade, and you know, and you break down, oh, you know, you're going to be making some serious profits. This is a $10,000 move down at a bare minimum, right? This is going to be a very, very profitable move. So getting stopped out once or twice on this attempt is definitely worth the money, in my opinion, right? That's only my opinion. You know, people cannot manage risk here. You know, they will come out on the stream and say, hey, I told you it was bullish and your analysis was wrong. It's not being right or wrong, guys. Okay, it's not being right or wrong. It's realizing, yeah, it can do this. If we break out successfully the highs, I ain't going to be in a short position. I ain't going to be in any short position if we start breaking the local highs with power. It's simple. I'm not shorting, right? Yeah, but you said that we are going to reject here, and you said that there's higher probability that this is impulsive and this could be a three-wave corrective structure, and ultimately we do break down to the lows. It doesn't matter. It's understanding where you need to execute the trade and where you need to manage risk. Local double tops. I was not interested in the first touch, and I did let the legends know we need a little bit of sign of weakness. There is a possibility of forming a couple of 4-5s here, and a couple of 4-5s can be a little bit complex. You know, I'm still leaning on the side. We could form another movement up and form like a double top here, right? You know, I think there's another chance. There's another chance, and that chance has to do with this reading of this structure, which we're going to do right now, okay? We're going to go lower time frame, and we're going to analyze what are the invalidation levels, okay? What are the invalidation levels on the bullish case and the bearish case? I mean, it does look pretty damn sexy right now, I have to say. Micro counts is what is being a big problem right now here, okay? Because the micro counts here is what is giving you the option of still creating another high. That is the problem right now. But yeah, if you look at this on the 3-minute time frame, you could ultimately say this was it. You formed a 5-wave move up, right? You formed a little bit of a 5-wave move up. Shouldn't this be it? Shouldn't this be it? You have a 5-wave move up here from the lows of yesterday. You got a bounce. You got the bullish CVDs. You got your first initial wave. Then you got your third wave. You know, arguably discussed, you would say it's here with this small little consolidation. Or you got an overshooting first wave, right? You got your 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Very small. That's your third wave, with an expanding wave 1 inside of your third wave. That is very valid. It doesn't matter. This is the end of the movement up. Whether you form a flat here or you form a zigzag here, it doesn't matter. This is the impulse. This is the correction. Whether you want to count it as a flat or you want to count this as the top of the 5th wave and this is your zigzag, it doesn't really matter. What's most important now is the low and the high that you're forming here. This is your next important movement. And that's what we're going to come and analyze now very carefully, guys, to understand what are the different projections. Because what if this is the high? What if this has been your A wave, this has been your B wave, and now this has been your C wave, right? Because ultimately, you can count on the C wave 5 waves up. You got that spike here with the highest volume. You got a short correction and you got a double top right there. What if this was it, right? When you do not analyze the local time frame, and this is where I come and say, guys, there is a possibility of forming one more high and even another high before the price corrects down. This is why attempting a short on the rejection of the highs here is an option, and even be defensive on the correction, being aware that the highs again can be hit. Another short here is also an option with stop loss above the high, and you're getting in on the rejection. These stop losses are extremely small. If this turns out to be a 3-wave corrective structure, the price, the projection that we're looking at for the next coming days is coming below $82,000. So you get the deal. The risk to reward is looking insanely attractive, right? It's looking very, very nice. Very, very nice. So local double, triple tops are an option here. And that has to do with the micro counting that we are going to be discussing right now in the next coming minutes, which looks like this. Doesn't look good at all. Looks very dodgy. You know, what the hell is this? What the hell is all of this, right? We're going to explain this in detail. Of course, there would be an option here of taking into consideration that the high could be in. The high could be in. But this comes as yesterday's analysis. Guys, we could form one more low, which we did, to take out the low, hit 7/8 Fibonacci, right? And get the bounce. We are looking for the end of the movement in the zone and then the bounce of several $1,000s to the upside. Will this be the low, or will we create one more, or will we create two more? Double bottoms, triple bottoms are an acceptable strategy at this point, which comes to this analysis right over here. Double tops, triple tops, even quadruple tops are an option purely based on the micro counting of the waves and understanding where the volume lies. If the volume lies right over here, you understand that this is your third wave with high probability. Okay, we never know, guys. This could shoot up to all-time high today. I don't know, maybe yes. I'm not jumping into shorts and I'm not adding to the position, right? Just like most of the unsuccessful traders do. That's how they get wrecked. You wait for the level, you sniper the level, and you have your stop loss on the other side of the rejection. So we're going to go through that scenario right now, guys, on the lower time frames. I'm just going to quickly go through the comment section, check out the likes, okay? Because ultimately yesterday we got what we were looking for, right? What I was looking for, right? I'm not going to say we had a lot of bears, very happy with their shorts. I told them take profits. If you've been shorting the last 24 hours, take profit, because there's a high chance that we are going to get a bounce. And we did. Oh, it was because of the tariffs. Well, the analysis, the charts told us the story that we are probably going to go up many $1,000s, right, in the next coming hours. So shorters, I hope you did take profits, because this is a very, very day trade, small swing trade range, guys. It's a it's going to be a big range. We're going to have some nice swings of $5,000, $10,000 up and down, up and down. It's going to be very, very rangy, in my opinion, for many days, many days, even a couple of weeks, till we actually break out either to the downside or to the upside, right? In my case, I'm leaning to all-time high with or without claiming $78,000, right? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. The overall projection on the higher time frame leans to all-time highs. Let's go. Long or no? Long or no? Well, hey, man. Long was yesterday looking for double bottoms, right? This is the long that you want to be in. This is the long that you want to be in, right? I'm speculating on a double top short and also a long position from here. So I'm squeezing. I can get stopped out close to break even. I will have another attempt. I understand that we could wick one more time to the upside. If we do not reject, I will not short. If we successfully break out from the highs, we are looking for higher levels. That's it. Now, your question here, should we long or not? Well, look, we're gonna analyze this. I mean, lots of choppiness right there. It does look interesting. We are uptrending for the moment, and there is a reason to create some more micro count waves. What do we have here? I'm gonna go through this, guys, right away. Okay, we're gonna go through this right over here, right? Could this fourth wave be in? We're going to go through this. Let's see how many likes we do have, guys. This is going to take a little bit of time to give the explanations. But this is an option. This is an option. Of course, you know, this could be much smaller. Ending up one more wave. Then we form another fourth wave, right? And then we create one more high. It's an option. It's an option. And we are going to discuss this option right now. Let's see how many likes we do have, guys. If you do enjoy the content. Nice pump and dump coming from the BS Summit today. Probably yes. Probably yes. Probably yes. What's going on here with the comment section? My open to 92K, then dump. New York open to 92K, then dump. Very possible. Yeah, we got New York open in 15 minutes, guys. So it can be a little bit punchy. We could see a nice movement up here. All right. It is possible. I am attempting local double tops. I'm also in that long position from yesterday. If you are interested in trading, guys, make sure to check out Weeks. Weeks is a brilliant platform. Okay. You can sign up with just an email and a password. You got the 50% deposit bonus. All right. Where you deposit $1,000, you get 500. You deposit $2,000, you get 1,000. It's $1,000 cap. Okay. You get 25%. Okay. Fee reduction. And also, all right. You do have the $30,000 deposit bonus for all of the big players, right? The people that are not broke, right? That can deposit significant amounts and they can trade a lot of volume. They will be getting airdrops of thousands of dollars with a cap of $30,000 throughout the next coming months. Okay. The more volume you move, the more airdrops you're going to get. Okay. Check out Weeks, guys. You just need an email and a password as well to sign up. Of course, you can do KYC if you wish, if you want the best bonuses, right? And the best fee discounts as well. Check out Weeks, but anyone that just wants to sign up with an email and a password, they can do so with the second link down below, okay? Let's go right away through this. Okay. I want to check how many likes we do have because this is a big headache, guys. I'm not a fan of doing micro count waves here. But I want to see how many likes we do have because 400 likes. You must be joking. I'm getting out of here. No, guys, no. I need you to get your hand on the mouse. Get your hand on the mouse, right? And click here. Let's do a small little tutorial, guys. Let's do a small little tutorial. And then we're going to get to the meat and potatoes of the lower time frame. And scroll down. You have a little like button here, which you can click on. You can click on this. We're getting to over 500. That's enough for me. Okay, that's good. It's very, it makes me sad that people don't want to like the live stream, right? And we really try our best to look at the different projections, trading opportunities, because if you go to some other random channel, you're going to get higher time frame analysis mainly, right? You're going to mainly get higher time frame analysis, and you're going to talk about they're going to talk about RSI and MACD and money flow, right? Which is, overall mainly higher time frame. There's also lower time frame. Not going to discuss that, but if we close a big daily candle here, then it could be bullish, right? Here we're getting action, guys. We're getting into the action of what are the different moves that could happen today, now, in the next coming hours, right? So I need a little bit of love because this takes time. It takes brain power and knowledge to come up with the different projections and scenarios, right? This, I'm not always right, of course, but it is not about being right or wrong. It's about knowing How far up can a wave go? How far down can we go? What would be an invalidation if we do hit certain levels, and understanding that the price could break down? Because we understand that if we do not hold this area, we're going to break down and possibly claim this low and even lower. It's understanding that the bullish case no longer becomes relevant if this level is lost. And anybody that is trying to get into long positions here is in extreme danger. We are not long in here. We are out of the market if we believe that we get a possibility of a long bounce, right? Same as yesterday. Same as yesterday. But yesterday, it played out pretty damn good, right? I got a few bad comments based on the analysis that we formed just on Monday. And I'm saying, where is your good comments, right? Where are the good comments from the bounce that we talked about at 79K from that live stream? Where is the bounce from yesterday? Where is the comments from yesterday's live stream, guys? If you take a look at the comments, I got 2 comments. There's more haters. There's like 2-3 comments. And we're looking for a several $1,000 bounce, right? In detail on the lower time frame. Seems like people like to hate more than actually appreciate the content and comment. Which, yeah, it's an interesting world we live in. Interesting world we live in, without a doubt. Based on the characters that we do have here in this world. However, regardless, it doesn't matter. You know, it just pisses me off, guys. Really, seriously, it does piss me off. You know, this comment that I had on the previous video, I said, go and check the previous video and the one ahead, and then, you know, comment again. Anyway, never mind. I'm not going to give my power on, you know, not going to give them any, that's it. It's enough. It's enough. Let's go through the possibilities here, guys, and what would be the invalidation of this movement, right? If we break down from here, then we have potentially the finished move, right? If we break down from certain levels of support, I do believe that we will be claiming this low. And, you know, maybe even if we break down from here, you know the story, right? You know the story. We're probably going to come down to this low. So, yeah, I'm going to give you certain levels that needs to hold right now to continue this uptrend momentum. And if lost, I'm not interested in looking at higher levels, right? At least in the short term. So let's go right away, right? You know, if we lose certain levels, what is the micro count scenario here, right? What is the micro count scenario? Let's go. Put the music on. Drink a little bit of water. Get your cup of tea. Get your cup of coffee. We got, you know, still 1,000 viewers. We got a few hundred leaving the stream because they didn't want to smash the like button. Well, go and take a hike and piss off, because we are here to provide very good technical analysis and levels. Okay, and you know, people that are not going to appreciate that, they can go and watch Crypto Banter. Let's go right away through the comment section after putting a little bit of music. I love you guys too. I love you. The ones that stick around, I hope they are learning a lot and you know, really taking their trading to the next level, right? All right, let's go. Shuma, got a good friend here from Spain, my man. Mucho amor para ti. Abrazos. Espero que esté todo bien. Right, we love you, bro. Yeah, Chill Hill. Okay, we love you. I love you. I love you too, guys. We always need to get. I think having not too many haters is not good. Let's go, Devil, my man. Devil, I got a little bit of power here. I'm pro counting what we hate most. All right, doing possibilities here. My goodness, Devil, I hope you can be here for the next coming minutes, because this is something that I've been analyzing, obviously, just the hour before the stream, to really try and detect, is this the end of the ABC movement? Whoops, my bad. Wrong tool. Wrong tool. Is this the end of the ABC right there? Because we have a valid 5-wave move up, right? Or Or, right, let's put this here. Let's put this right over here, because then we have this scenario, right? This is like looking at is this possible? Devil, let me know. Is this possible that we finished a 3-wave corrective structure because we have the bearish case here, right? Being very impulsive, and this is what we got, right? We're going to start breaking down right now. Is it possible? I have to say, just because of this movement that we've had to the upside since the lows of early this morning, it is possible. It is possible. However, we do have this scenario, which is still very much possible, right? And this is where we need to start getting the brain power and analyze the situation. And what is our invalidation levels for this scenario? Okay, let's go. We understand that this could have been the end of the wave, right? It does not matter at this stage because we broke the highs. Whether this is the 5th wave or this is the 5th wave, and this is a ABC movement or this is an ABC flat, it doesn't matter. The waves have finished. We are in another section of the chart. What we understand is that the low from this correction, and I do not want to imagine that this has, no, it's not possible, but literally. Yeah, we ain't gonna speculate on that other scenario, but this is the most likely one, which is just a general correction in start of impulsive moves. So we understand that the low is here, right? The low from today was $86,300, right? This is today's low. Today's low, daily low, right over here. This is where this next wave starts. So when we analyze, we can clearly see that this is the movement and this is the movement, right? It's a movement up and a movement down. That gives you a possible first wave 1 and 2. Now is where we zoom in, and we now is where it comes very interesting. First initial wave on the lower time frame. Second wave, we ain't going to micro count these waves. We're just going to pack it up here inside of this movement, that this is your next wave up, your next wave 2, right? We ain't going to go to the 15-second time frame, guys. It ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. Man, this mouse is BS. So, having this second wave 1 and 2, and this third wave 1 and 2, then we have this scenario. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, this 5th wave, right? It wouldn't make sense. Isn't the 3rd wave the longest wave? Well, this is part of a 3rd wave. This is an expanding 5th wave. It happens sometimes. It is what it is. We need to understand that there is a possibility from your 3rd wave 1 and 2 that all of this is your wave 3, and then you have your 4, 5 here in the green, right? All of this is finishing one wave, right? Because you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And inside of the 3rd wave is where you have your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, expanding 5th wave. It is rare, but it's the only way that I can come here to the conclusion of this scenario. So we're just going to have to go and move forward with it. As your third wave 1 and 2 has been finished, the only thing that we have left here is our finished 2nd 4 and 5, right? 1, 2, 1, 2. You have your completion here of the 3rd 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now, could you form the 4-5 here to finish your blue 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then finish your 4, 5 in your yellow 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yeesh. Here. Your blue wave 4 needs to finish in between the 382 and the 50% Fibonacci. From your second wave 1 and 2 to the top 382, 50% would be the zone that needs to bounce to form this fourth wave. The moment you come down all the way to the golden pocket, which is sitting at $88,300, it invalidates the continuation for a few more waves to the upside here. And this no longer becomes relevant. And what you are looking at would be this scenario potentially playing out as you're breaking down the market structure, and we're looking to take out the lows, and possibly coming down as low as $81,000, right? It will not look real till we get down there, right? So this $88,800 is crucial to not be hit throughout this momentum, because it will invalidate the micro bullish count here. And you already have your wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right over here. If you start breaking down, I mean, this is just the idea, right? This is why double tops after forming the highest amount of volume, which is well known as your third wave with the highest amount of volume, right, is the one that you want to consider the local double, triple tops. This is why every single top that rejects from this high, which is the most powerful one, which is ultimately your possible wave 3, is the moment that you need to look for short positions based on 4 5s, 4 5s. And this will get you the entry for a very, very possible successful short position. Your stop loss looks like this. Your reward looks very, very good, right? So this is a similar analysis based on micro count waves that we had yesterday that ultimately helped us predict that we are going to get a reversal of several $1,000s as predicted yesterday. So you take that with a pinch of salt and manage risk, legends, because if we start losing $88,000, it ain't going to be looking too great. It ain't going to be looking too great for the bulls if we start breaking down this area right over here. Even touching that level would already be a very bad sign. Even though, regardless, you get a bounce, I would be possibly interested in looking for shorts on the bounce. Ultimately, you do have another option, which would be the contracting move, right? But this would be rare. They're already rare movements. Ultimately, you're still interested in that top right over here because you're looking for a correction regardless, right? At least to sweep up the local lows. I mean, it is an option if we do get down to $88,000, right? I don't like to speculate on these movements because they're very they are rare most of the time. So DXY is falling. DXY is a chart that I wanted to talk about, not the Bitcoin dominance. My goodness, this is going up. This is going up still, guys. The dollar index is absolutely collapsing, which is a good sign on the higher time frame, right? Dollar index moving down is very good. Es muy bueno for Bitcoin long term. And we can get the Bitcoin chart. And I love this because this is something that we were talking about throughout many weeks, right? I am looking for the dollar index to actually look for a rejection at the golden pocket zone from the highs of 2022 to the lows of 2023. We retraced, we literally got a reaction at the golden pocket, 61865 Fibonacci. And what is interesting about this movement is you can look at, from the low, a wave, a zigzag move here in your B wave, and then your C wave, right? It is very much valid to count this as a corrective structure, just because when we had that rejection between 22 and 23, eventually that was when we had massive interest rate, right? This was when, after the C19 crash, well, eventually we had, massive money printing activity. Well, this got the correction. Then we had the interest rates, right? Absolutely making the dollar strong, the dollar index. After this correction, after this movement down from the highs on the dollar index in 2022, you can count a 5-wave move, which is very, very similar to the price of Bitcoin here. Oh, Bitcoin's moving down now with the dollar index. But let me just quickly go do this brief explanation, guys, all because of educational purposes on understanding the drop down on the dollar index. This movement down that we did, I do have this somewhere on the chart still, which was this scenario, right? When you map the possible end of an impulsive move down, you understand that you could be finishing that 5th wave. Oof, the Bitcoin price, my goodness, it's getting the movement down. It's getting close to the invalidation for the bullish case. We'll take a look at that. Maybe ultimately the bearish case here is probably in. That double top was an acceptable short. What can we say? It's getting very, very close to the invalidation. The only option here would be a ascending contracting move. Not looking too great for the price of Bitcoin. Would I short now? No. I would short the local double top. That's where I would short. If we take a look at the DXY, and there's no instant correlation, as you can see. Dollar index is moving down, Bitcoin's moving down, but this is a higher time frame correlation. It's not lower time frame correlation. Okay, it's very important to understand that. But what is very interesting to see, this movement down on the dollar index was very powerful in volume. Very, very powerful. There's a lot of volume here throughout the movement down after the peak, right? It does go down, but it ultimately is where the highest volume is in the last, 5 years, right? 4 years. So what we understand based on this move, and that's why I come up with this chart over here on Bitcoin, that, that you understand where the lows could be in on a movement. On the movement down, you realize where the lows could be very close to being in, or the highs could be very close to being in as well. And that is when you come up with, you know, this kind of analysis on the dollar index in this move, which is ultimately giving me the signs that this is a movement down. This is an impulsive move down, and this is corrective, which means that there's a high chance that the dollar index comes back down to the lows of 2023, ultimately, possibly this year, right? This is the daily chart. And it all comes to understand this movement down is impulsive. It is not corrective. So, and it's a very, very similar way of analyzing this scenario, right? When we do take a look at the dollar index, you can analyze that from all-time high, you know, with a double 1-2 here, or a one wave and a flat wave here. It doesn't matter. Ultimately, you have a 1-2 here. You have your first movement down and your correction, and then you have the strong third wave, right? The strong third wave moving down aggressively, ultimately getting exhausted here and getting the bounce. And then what happens here is that you form a corrective move and you form one more low, whether it being 4-5-4-5, because you have a double 1-2 here, right? This is literally the same thing that what happened on Bitcoin last week. Let's put this bigger, and this is just for education purposes, guys. You know, we just to give you the explanation here on on this movement, and then you have your lower time frame wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let me just turn this into another color. Right? This movement to the downside is where you understand that you are forming an impulsive move down. Double 1-2, 3, 4, 5 to complete your third wave in the yellow, as you can see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 and 5, ending up with this. This movement that got this bounce is very, very similar to this movement right over here that happened on Bitcoin last week. Not the same, but similar, right? You know, but just doing the counts. So, ooh, what an epic bounce. What an epic wick and bounce here. Oof. This is pretty crazy. We'll be going through the lower time frames right now, legends. Nice little volatility that we're getting out here. That we're getting here on Bitcoin. We're gonna take a look at this movement now, guys. Give us a second, because we're just going. We love lower time frames, guys. We love lower time frames. We almost hit the invalidation. We did not hit the invalidation of the bullish case still, which is pretty interesting. Almost hitting. We would arguably discuss we did. We'll take a look at this, right? We can't get distracted right now on every single 1 minute movement, but it was a quick wick down. Now we're getting a quick bounce on Bitcoin. So anyway, going through the DXY, this movement that happened throughout 22 and 23 is highly likely an impulsive move down, giving us the high chance that all of this is corrective. This movement down is potentially followed by quantitative easing, right? In the next coming months, right? The main reason why the dollar index went down in the next coming months is because the money printer went on, right? Remember these words, guys, with me. Repeat after me. The main reason why the dollar index got a movement down is because the money printer went on. Main reason. If you want to know months in advance that could happen, you come up to the charts, right? If you want to be ahead of the news, you analyze the structure of the charts that could tell you the possible future story, right? And the future story is this one right over here. The main reason this becomes highly likely a corrective move is because of the movement down that we had from the highs of 2022 to the movement low, to the low of 2023, being more of an impulsive move down in a one wave, regardless if it's going to be an A, B, C or a 1, 2, 3, and we absolutely nuke here. It doesn't matter. It just tells you that this is a one wave that looks impulsive, giving you the high probability that all of this that's happening here for the last 2 years is a correction. And this movement down is likely followed. The main reason why that we got the movement down on the dollar index is because of quantitative easing, which is, you know, the printer going on basically, right? So that's basically it. We've lost a major level right now on the dollar index, and obviously it's correcting down very aggressively, and that is because it's a high volume range that we do have of the last 4 years. The value area high, a crucial pivot that the price of the dollar index needed to maintain to get the momentum to continue to the upside. We have lost this range, and as you lose a major high volume range, the price will collapse. The price will likely collapse, which is doing here throughout the last 2 days, as we have lost a very crucial level, which is almost confirming that we will be heading to lower levels in the next coming months to claim the lows of 2024, which is very likely going to be followed by the money printer going on, right? So this is what we got here with the dollar index. And the question is right now, isn't the dollar index being bearish good for Bitcoin? Absolutely, yes. Absolutely. It has always been good for the price of Bitcoin on higher time frames, not the day, not the week, right? We're looking at many weeks and months, and we can share that right away. We can share that right away just so you can see with your own eyes how throughout the last 6, 7, 8 years, it doesn't matter, how the negative correlation of the dollar index has been very good for the price of Bitcoin till ultimately get an upside, you know, get upside momentum, right? And we can use that right over here, getting the Bitcoin chart, right? And map the situation here with the dollar index, right? Man. Right. Let's get this together. Let's get this together, guys. Hold on a second. Oh, we need to put the logarithmic here. Hang on a minute. Boo. Sorry, guys. I look like a complete noob here. I just want to map here the Bitcoin price. Let's turn that in orange so we can see that the orange is Bitcoin. And we can see how the Bitcoin top, right? The Bitcoin bull run throughout 2016, 2017 was followed by a decreasing dollar index. Look at the cross that you have here. Bearish dollar index, bullish Bitcoin. Where did Bitcoin price top? In December of 2017. Where did the dollar index bottom? In Q1 of 2018, right? Bounce on the dollar index, bear market for Bitcoin. Let's fast forward here to a major event that was 2020 C19 crash. We got a massive spike on the dollar index. Everybody's cashing out everything. Dollar index gains value and demand. People want to hold cash in very, bad times. And this is followed by lockdown and massive money printing activity eventually, which signals a bottom, right? You got the major crash event. Everybody's selling everything because they don't know what is happening in the next 6 months, right? It's just a natural human emotional reaction. And everything crashes because everybody sells everything, right? Because we are entering a small recession and we do not know what the hell is happening with this C19 thing. That is followed with massive printing activity, which ultimately brings a huge recovery on everything. Everything, you could have bought the shittiest altcoin, right? And it would have made you money back in 2020 and 2021. You can see the negative correlation here. When did the bear market start? 2021, right? Yes, Q1 or Q4, it doesn't really matter, right? It's still pretty rangy, no major uptrend. But the moment the dollar index gained value very aggressively throughout, 2022, you can see how the bear market was very much real on Bitcoin, right? Look at this in the orange, right? Dollar index absolutely flying and the bear market being very aggressive. Where did the price of Bitcoin bottom? This was in November of 2022. Surprisingly enough, the dollar index topped out in October of 2022. So dollar index down, bull market initiated, right? The negative correlation is massive. You can see it here. The negative correlation is massive. We've had a pretty strong bull market, and still when the dollar index has been pretty rangy and pretty up, right? This is pretty impressive. So super cycle, guys. It's super cycle. We're going to much higher levels on Bitcoin. Well, it doesn't mean that, but overall it does signal that if we do get money printing, that is very, very possible for this year, we are likely going to see another stretch, okay? Bitcoin likely is going to stretch its legs and have another all-time high after this massive bearish sentiment with tariffs, right? With tariff war, China, Canada, Mexico, rest of the world. This is bearish. I don't believe it. Bear market, it's a top. This is a very, very powerful signal, guys. That we've lost certain levels on the dollar index really indicates that we could come back down to the lows here of 2024, right, which is below 99. If we slowly come down there in the next coming weeks, that is where I would ultimately see the recovery for Bitcoin. I mean, there's no instant correlation here, guys. There's no instant correlation, okay? Dollar index can drop in the day and Bitcoin can drop in the day as well. But it's just a powerful correlation to take into consideration that if the dollar index continues with bounces or not, but ultimately continues downtrending throughout the next coming months to claim the lows here, which is very much the projection, we are going to see Bitcoin heading up to all-time high in the next coming, weeks, months. So I blocked my screen. What happened? Is the screen blocked? What happened? Oh yeah, sorry, my bad. I'm blocking the screen with my bloody face. That's what's happening. So anyway, yeah, sorry about that. It was the latest movement in the correlation. Okay, sorry about that. Let's go. What's going on with Bitcoin? Is it pumping back up? It's dumping. It's pumping and dumping. We got the levels, we got the scenarios, guys. That is all on the live stream, okay? Not much more to talk about here. We ain't going to take a look at altcoins. Andy, you are at the all-time high of the screen, yes. Put your video down right. Yes. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's just an explanation, right, of this. Okay, so it looks pretty good for the dollar index, for the Bitcoin price. If you know, the downtrend looks very good for the rest of the year, as we've lost major levels of support, as explained. The value area high of this range has been lost, and it's been lost only in the last 2 days, right? You lose the value area high, you're going to get a big dumpy. Of course, we got the point of control right now, which ultimately could provide the bounce, right? But, you know, would expect resistance and a lower high. So that's when Bitcoin could get the correction, right? On the bounce of the dollar index in the next coming days. But it looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty nice. Bitcoin, getting the choppiness. Got a quick little bounce. It ain't looking too great for the bulls at the moment. Okay, it ain't looking too great. Looking at the invalidation. Oof, that has literally been touched, guys. It ain't looking too great for the bulls, in my opinion. If you want a long here, it's all on you. It's a good moment to take profits from longs, that is for sure, from yesterday. Especially now, because this scenario doesn't look too great. This scenario does not look too great right now, because we've corrected too low, in my opinion. Okay, so it ain't looking too great for the bullish case, and maybe what we're looking at here is already a finished correction. All right, we've hit invalidation levels. It's not looking too great for the bulls. You know the deal, guys. Any longs that have been taken, it's a good moment to start scooping up some more aggressive profits. Whoever shorted double top here was an option based on this scenario. Any view on Umbrella? We're just gonna have to remain patient on Umbrella, brother, because you know, I'm holding some Umbrella, and this is just good. We're gonna have to wait for the next cycle pump. There's it looks good, if you ask me. Why does it look good? Because it's just, you know, this is a range where it's likely going to bottom out here in the coming weeks. You know, there's not much selling pressure. This is a very, very low market cap crypto. So it either dies or it bottoms out, right? It's not going to die. It's an active project. So, and it's a working project. So you're going to have to remain patient for that reaccumulation to happen in the next coming weeks to then get the pump. Guys, remember, if you're interested in trading, ooh, not looking good for Bitcoin, guys. Not looking good. This could have been the end of the zigzag move. We do have high probability that this has been more impulsive to the downside. It ain't looking too great. I'm sorry. This does have a high probability of being the impulse. A three-wave structure. The only ultimate scenario that we do have here, in my opinion, would be a double 1-2, which is possible. It is possible that you form a double 1-2 here, but unlikely in my opinion. Not looking too great. Legends, much love. Take care. Remember to take advantage of that insane deposit bonus that you do have here on Weeks. 50% deposit bonus. You deposit $2,000, you're getting $1,000 in the next 48 to 72 hours. For the big whales, up to $30,000 deposit bonus. The more you deposit and trade, you're going to get massive airdrops, and you get 25% fee reduction when you sign up through the second link, guys. If for all of those people that don't want to give more documents and rest of it, you can sign up with an email and a password. You can trade Bitcoin and hundreds of altcoins there. Much love to everybody. Thank you very much for joining, and I will see you in the next one.